I love this. It's Christmas party season. Lots of people will have already been. Lots of people will be on their way. Time to get your glad rags on. Don't forget your dancing shoes. And now, when you're getting ready for your Christmas do, you may well pop on a bit of lippy. I do it all the time. Bit of eyeshadow, maybe. What are the best techniques, though? Well, Paula Tennant has been a professional makeup artist in Leicestershire for over 8 years, and you've been trained in cosmetology. I love that. It sounds like it's space, but it's about cosmetics.
Well, it's not just cosmetics, it's all skincare as well, it's anything to do with the beauty side of things.
You've been doing that for 20 years.
Yeah, I'm quite old, remember?
Oh, no, you're not. Man, you spend your life just making people really glam.
I do. In actual fact, I did 75 brides last year, and all brides usually have bridesmaids as well, so it's a lot of making up to do, yeah.
Do you do people for Christmas at this time?
It builds back up again. It's a bit quiet, but not so many bridal work, October, November time, but then it builds up again in December for party makeup and things like that.
What is the look this year?
Well, a lot of dark tones for the lips, like mulberries and wine-coloured lipsticks.
So it hides the wine?
Well, I never thought of it like that, but yeah, I'm sure it does.
Well, my producer Sophie has stuck her hand up today. She said, I'll be the guinea pig, so you're going to have your makeup done.
Yes, I think so.
How do you normally, because I know what your makeup normally looks like. You're normally pretty glam, it has to be said.
Well, no, I like having a flicky eye. A line, like of eyeliner.
They call it a winged eyeliner, which is always very popular.
Yeah. But that's just kind of my day-to-day. But when I go out, I do use eyeshadows, but I just kind of blend. I'm not very good with all these techniques. I just kind of go for a few colours.
Are you a fan of the smoky eye?
Oh, I do like a smoky eye, yeah.
My wife actually watches, she loves doing makeup, and she watches videos on YouTube. Because there's some really big, I can't remember the name, there's a couple of sisters on it that just do amazing makeup.
I know. It's phenomenal now these days, isn't it? A lot of youngsters now are so good at makeup because they're watching these videos. It's such big business.
Go on then, do something with Sophie.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to
say
is...
Do anything with Sophie. What are we going to do?
What I think this time of year is fantastic for glamour makeup. It's evening, there's lots of parties and different things going on. So for anybody that's afraid, want to do a bit of glamour makeup, but actually a bit afraid to do it, I think this is the best time of year to actually try it out. Lots of sparkle, and we can go for it that little bit more. So first of all, I think with makeup is getting the base right, and a lot of people they need to get their skincare right before makeup. Your skin is your canvas, so it's important to try and sort that out before you start putting your makeup on, because it's going to sit better on the skin. So that's another subject, but we can go on about that.
So a bit of moisturiser
and I would say specifically exfoliation, because dead skin cells can sit on the skin, and then when you're putting foundation on, it can sit in it. So I would say more important, make sure you're exfoliating and moisturising, especially as you get a little bit older as well. Your eye creams are so important when it comes to makeup, because concealer can really sit in the lines as well, and then you start feeling older, when in actual fact you're meant to be trying to feel better about yourself. So exfoliate and make sure you put the right products for moisturising. So if you've got an oily skin, you would be putting on a moisturiser that's actually for a more matte look, and vice versa. So
Sophie, let's assume that Sophie does look after her skin. Do you exfoliate?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there you are, a beautiful canvas.
Yeah.
What can we do with it?
So we've got a perfect canvas. So the other thing people make the mistake of, which I think is very important, I always do eyes first. And people say to me, I do mine the opposite way around. Is that the way you're supposed to do it? When I actually explain why, it makes sense. Because especially if you're using eyeshadows and they're quite heavy pigmented, you're putting the eyeshadow on, and then it'll fall down onto the cheeks. You know that feeling. So if you've already put your concealers and foundations on, the first thing you're going to do then is having to wipe it off. So then you're starting again, aren't you? So always do the eyes first, I would say, and perfect that before you start putting on any foundations. The other thing I do first as well is eyebrows. Eyebrows is a reference point for the rest of your makeup. It adds definition and structure to your face, and it's the reference point for eyeliners. When you talk about the winged eyeliner, it will help where that is applied to. So I'm going to start with the eyes, and the first thing I'm going to do is put a primer on. Do you put primer on?
Sometimes.
What's that? Is that
right? An eye primer is it will help hold the eyeshadow a lot longer.
Oh, okay. So you get it. You're not going to have to reapply halfway through an evening.
No, because this is only the primer. We're going to be putting eyeshadows on over the top anyway.
So that glues the eyeshadow.
It does glue. If Sophie was to go to bed tonight with this eyeshadow on that I'm going to be putting on over this primer, the chance are it will still be. I don't advise you to go to bed with it on, but if you did, you would find the eyeshadow would still be on the next day. So very important.
We should have been doing this next Friday at our Christmas party.
Well, I do have a Christmas party tonight as well.
How convenient.
Okay, so I'm just putting the eye primer.
Do you enjoy it? It's almost like art, isn't it?
It is. You are painting a picture, I suppose, in some respects, aren't you?
So you're just putting that on with your finger?
With my finger,
and it's kind of completely... Well, it's just skin tone, isn't it?
That's right. However, you can buy them with the eyeshadows as well as primers.
If you're thinking of buying some makeup for your significant other, what's the best thing to go? A brush or a palette of makeup? Or what would be the thing to buy?
Well, I mean, the brushes are the key to everything. Getting the right brush, I must say.
You've got hundreds of them.
I would always want more.
Really?
Never enough.
So what are you doing now?
So I'm going to start now with putting, because I'm continuing with the eyes, I'm going to now carry on with the eyeshadow. So I'll put the primer on, now I'm going to put the eyeshadow on.
It's really relaxing as well. You know, like being somebody who's getting your makeup done, it's just so enjoyable.
Oh yeah, brides say that, so it's a good thing on their wedding day as well, you know, to get their makeup done professionally.
What did you just tap that?
Yeah, well what I'm doing, you see, I'm taking a bit of pigment up and then I'm tapping the excess off.
Right.
I suppose it's things I do without thinking, really. So I'm going right into the crease line. I'm using a nice warm colour.
And this is for an evening, is it?
A little bit more glamorous.
So do you go a bit heavier for
Exactly, yeah. In an evening, you would definitely go a bit heavier because it's dark as well, you know, that would take so much off.
Well, we're going to play a bit of music whilst you get stuck in with this. That's amazing. What's a beautiful colour. And would you change that dependent on Sophie's skin tones?
I think this colour, I'm using a neutral colour which suits everybody really. It's a warm neutral tone. But if somebody wanted a stronger eye, then I probably would use a darker colour.
We'll be back in a minute.
Or at least use it as a transition colour.
Sophie's being transformed even as we speak. Paula Tennant's a makeup artist locally. You've been doing this for a long time. One tip you said to me just a second or two ago was it's either lips or eyes.
Yeah, that's the general rule.
So what you do is you want really, you know, if you went for full-on red lips, tone the eyes down, or you go for the full-on smoky lip, which you're doing with Sophie, but then go for the mulberries or the wine-coloured lips.
That's exactly right.
I'm an expert in makeup now.
Or nude, really, but with it being Christmas and, you know, evening makeup, then go for a stronger lip. But, generally you would do a stronger eye and a nuder lip.
Okay.
But it means it's Christmas, we're going to go a bit stronger.
And you can glam it up, presumably, a bit at Christmas, can you?
Oh, yes, of course. It's the best time to do it, you know. If you want to practice anything and you're not sure, but I think that's the time to go for it. You can get away with anything at Christmas.
So good brushes
is the key to everything. A good skin, or the best skin that you can get for yourself, and the good brushes. Yeah.
Have you finished?
No.
So Sophie's eyes, they go darker towards the edges?
That's right, yeah. So lighter to this point, and to 3/4 of the way, and then just sort of dark on the outer corner. Wow. And I did the crease colour that you actually saw as well.
How long does it take to do your eyes?
My own or anybody else?
Well, anybody else's, yeah.
I would say it's the best part of 20 minutes.
Is it really?
Yeah, lots of blending and time to put the false lashes on and the eyeliner. I mean, the winged eyeliner has to be perfect. I'm a bit of a perfectionist anyway. It has to be angled just right.
So somebody listening to this and thinks, I really want to try something new for a Christmas party they're going to tonight.
Yeah.
You would say, spend a bit of time on the eyes.
Yeah.
Treat yourself to one new piece of makeup. What would it be?
I think if you haven't got a lot of experience in makeup, then I would actually probably go for the lip, because anybody can really apply lipstick. You know, if you put a bright lipstick on or a deep pigmented lipstick, you look glamorous automatically, don't you? So if you're not very good at makeup, then I'd go for the lips, actually.
And treat yourself to a really good lipstick.
A really good lipstick, yeah. And the key, I'll tell you the best thing that someone ever taught me years ago. For a long-lasting lipstick, I mean, you do have your long wears, and I'm not a big fan of them, to be honest. What I think works for me is finding a lip liner brush as close the colour to the actual lipstick that you can, and then colour the whole of the lip with that lip pencil. Colour it in, it's dry, and it will really stain the lips. And then, with a brush, put the lipstick on over the top.
And then it lasts.
Because as that lipstick will start to slide off as they do, you've got that stain underneath. But the key is make sure it's the closest colour to the lipstick that you can.
So
and it will look like it's last forever.
Right, got you. Love it.
So as it slides off, it's still there. The colour's still showing.
How's it feeling, Sophie?
Yeah, really lovely.
But you don't even know what she's doing. You can't see. That's the amazing
No,
thing.
that's the great thing though, because you kind of you're being transformed, aren't you? And then you open your eyes, and then you're like, "That's me."
Do you feel different when you've got a full makeup?
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? It's nice to get glammed up. Like, I like to put makeup on day to day for work, but I go very simple and just sort of have a foundation, maybe a bit of a like bronzer. And sometimes I'll do a winged eye, but then, when you're going out at the weekend or, you're going out with friends, then that's the time where you put a little bit extra on.
Paula's moving your head around. It's great. You're putting sparkly stuff on.
I am. Why not? It's Christmas. We can do this.
This is great. You're going to look so glamorous when we go for lunch for a sandwich later on.
And why
in
not?
the queue for the sardines.
Why not? As I say, if you can't do it at Christmas, when can you?
I think it's great. I really do. We'll post some before and after photographs on Twitter after this, won't we?
Yes, we will.
That looks amazing. And that's a bit of sparkle. So even if you did your ordinary eyes, presumably you could stick a bit of sparkle on and suddenly you're all glammed up.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Add a bit of sparkle and you're automatically glamorous. Even if you had a very nude, natural eye, just stick that little bit of glitter over the top, yeah.
Oh, I love what you're doing. That's fantastic. 5 minutes past 11. It's just, you can tell Christmas isn't here. This studio is just chaos today. Sophie, my producer, normally be on the glass. She's just sitting here, chilling out, having her eyes done by Paula, who's the makeup artist, and that's all still ongoing. The studio's been turned into a makeup studio. We've just learned, Paula, that you were at one point a prison officer in a male prison.
Yes, I made it all for about 4 months until I decided, actually, hospitality's better for me.
It's terrific. Anyway, we have the makeup going on in the background. If you've got any questions about it, I'm sure Paula wouldn't mind answering them. 0116 251 1049. We'll have the next in our, I think it's number 7 in our 12 Days of Christmas coming out for you in a bit, looking at the people that make our Christmases locally. That coming out for you after this. You could listen to this, got to work for the Ministry of Defence as well, apart from anything else, did Paula. She's just doing Sophie's eyelashes in the background there. And then you're going to spray a fixative over all of this, because hopefully, well, you're right on the lash tonight, I think, Sophie, aren't you? Going out to a lovely party, and it would be nice if this makeup lasted.
Yeah, I have to play netball tomorrow, so it won't be as lashy as you make it.
Oh, it's not. Is it? Oh, it's tomorrow night, is it?
No, both nights.
Oh, is it? Crikey. And
Ben, sorry, can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
I've done these jobs, but I found my thing when I did this. It took me a while.
I can tell you just love doing this. The pair of you are giggling and having a lovely time.
Yeah, I love people.
Even though you're just in a studio, it's not the ideal place to do it. The lighting's not right. There's lots of shadow when there shouldn't be. You've loved it.
I like people and I like happy occasions.
It's great. Look. And then you're doing some... What's that thing you're doing? Contouring.
Contouring is, to some people, I suppose, they think it's been a recent thing over the last 2-3 years. In actual fact, it's been around for years. But we, makeup artists that did the courses years ago, like 30-odd years ago, we called it highlighting and low lighting, but now they call it contouring. But it's always been around.
Cheeks, nose, and the little bit on your lip in the
middle. Yeah, the cupid's bow on the lip, at the end of the nose, the cheeks, above the eyes even.
I love it.
Anywhere
it needs a highlight or a low light.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's 12 minutes past 11.